Tonight, an awful new crime is feeding the battle over sanctuary city laws, and this time the story comes from Maryland, where a 14-year-old girl went to school at her Rockville High School and was allegedly raped during school hours by two other older students, at least one of whom we know is an illegal immigrant. The other status is not sure yet. Tonight, parents are at the high school. You can imagine they are enraged. One of them will join us in just a few moments, but first we go to Doug McKelway, who is live on the scene in Rockville tonight, outside the site of the ongoing PTA meeting there. Doug, good evening to you.
Good evening, Martha. Let me bring you up to date on some of the details, as unpleasant as they are in this case. It was last Thursday morning, about 9 o'clock in the morning, when a 14-year-old freshman girl here at Rockville High School alleges that she was shoved into a boys' restroom in a little used part of the school. And despite her best efforts to resist by holding on to a sink, she was thrust into one of the stalls where two other students proceeded to rape her, to sodomize her, and force her to perform oral sex. That same day, police arrested two freshman students, 18-year-old Henry Sanchez Milian, an illegal from Guatemala, and 17-year-old Jose Montano of El Salvador. The arrests, as you can well imagine, have sparked an outcry in progressive Montgomery County, Maryland, where angry parents are attending a PTSA meeting that just got underway a little while ago.
I know that if this country enforced the laws that are already on the books, those two young men would not have been here, and this rape, this horrendous rape, would not have occurred.
I'm really outraged by the situation in Montgomery County. I'm a lifelong resident.
They're just, come in. You're 20 years old, come on in. Go to high school with a 14-year-old.
In his first press conference since this thing happened 5 days ago, the superintendent of schools here late this afternoon said that this school district has absolutely no choice but to accept all comers to its schools.
We are a public school system, and we serve all of our students when they come to us. And when we look at that, it is not only the right thing to do and the good thing to do, and it benefits the students and our community and our state, it's also the law of the land.
Local county and city officials deny that they are an informal sanctuary city here, saying that whenever an illegal alien is arrested in Montgomery County and imprisoned, after his imprisonment time, the ICE is notified and they're handed over to ICE. But they note that that occurs only after a crime occurs. They say it was federal immigration officials under the Obama administration who dropped the ball here.
One of the two individuals that was apprehended was actually stopped by ICE in Texas and released. How is this on us?
Others say this is a community that is absolutely straining under the pressure of unchecked immigration. This morning, Martha, I spoke to a part-time elementary school teacher here who told me that 1 out of every 3 students in her elementary school cannot speak a word of English. She maintains that it slows the learning process down. It costs the school system tremendous amounts of money to hire teachers who have to know how to speak as many as 19 different languages. And as she said, it slows the learning process down. That old adage that a convoy moves only as quickly as its slowest ship, this convoy is slowing down, Martha.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Doug. Thank you. So this is a horrific case. Obviously, it happened in Rockville, Maryland, and is now going national. It was a question today in the briefing at the White House. Here is Press Secretary Sean Spicer and his reaction to this earlier today. Watch.
This young woman, in particular, fought to come to this country legally because of the freedoms and the treasures of this nation. And to think that this kind of tragedy would occur to someone who's personally endured that kind of struggle to come to this nation and then face this is reprehensible. And it is not who we are as a country. There's so many facets of this case that deserve question. Why was there, I think he was 17 or 18 years old. 18, thank you. And how does that person get put into the 9th grade? I mean, there are so many issues that come up in this case. I will leave it to authorities to get through, but I think that we are in the early stages of this, and there's a lot that needs to get addressed with respect to this case in particular.
So here with me now is Kimberly Allman. She is the mother of a student at Rockville High School. Kimberly, welcome. Thank you very much for talking with us tonight. I know it's a tough time for all of you.
It truly is, and thank you very much, Martha, for helping to shine a light on what's going on here in our community. My son happens to be a student here at Rockville, and I've had 2 other children go through here. I'm happy to be here tonight because you're shining a light on what's going on and how it affects everyone.
Kimberly,
what is it that you want to know?
Yeah, you know, let me just start with a question. You know, in terms of the reaction of the parents in that meeting tonight, what were some of the things that they were asking? What do they want to know about how a 17 and an 18-year-old end up in a 9th grade in a situation where they can perpetrate this kind of crime, alleged crime, against a 14-year-old girl?
Well, it's amazing. Over the last couple of days, as all of us parents have found out more details about what's happened, we've all been just absolutely shocked because we need to know how this happened, but not to place blame on the school system or anyone else. We can do that later. We want to make sure that we know how to prevent these situations in the future. Our governor came out today and he used very strong words. He used the words that I need to hear and so many of the parents here need to. If you look behind me and you see these parents here in this parking lot here, Governor Hogan used the words that I want to hear, not the washed down language that we heard from the last administration and
what did he say?
The blame where it is. He used the word illegal immigrants. He wanted to know why these men were here with our children. That's the problem. If we free up our resources for so many different things by moving these people out, you see, people are very excited about what's going on. But if we use our resources to move these children out, the illegal immigrants out of our school systems and our communities, we'll have those resources to use in so many ways.
I understand, Kimberly. Thank you.
My child's here in this school, and it's so important.
You know, I mean, there's no reason why an 18-year-old who's been detained by ICE, why the school doesn't know that, and they're not aware of that, and can't make sure that that student doesn't pose a threat to other students. You know, you talk about safe spaces in education. It seems the very most basic element of a safe space would be for a 14-year-old to be able to go to school and not get raped in the bathroom by an illegal immigrant. Thank you very much, Kimberly. We'll be following the story, and we thank you for being here tonight.